Hi, this is Chris Cooks, and I'm Chris. And tonight we're going to fix a dinner that is from one of the delivery services, won't say who, and is mozzarella crusted chicken. And it has a couple of things that I really like. Number one, it has carrots instead of potatoes, and I love carrots. And it has couscous. So we're going to get through and you'll enjoy it. It is also a very easy one oven dish kind of dinner with couscous. So carrots, I already peeled them. I ask you to peel your carrots. And I cut the ends off. And we did a whole session on knives, so if you want to go back and see that video, subscribe to Chris Cooks. It's really good. And I'm going to cut these into just diagonal slices because they're going to go on a roasting pan. And again, keep your fingers down, and I just go slice, 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 slice. And it's interesting when you do it, if you do it just steady, it's not a race. You know, I look at my son sometimes, I said, honey, slow down. It's not a race. We're just having fun cooking. And this is my knife. We did a session, a video on great old knives, and this one is about 50 years old. And you can see it works really good. So we're going to have these carrots. I have a pan with paper in it because I don't want to stick to the pan. And I just put the carrots on the pan on about half of it. Why? Because we're going to do it with chicken and the chicken's going to cook on the other half. It's very cool. Now, this is an interesting part. People struggle sometimes with what lemon zest means. This is a lemon. I rolled it just because it makes better. This is a grater. And I'm just going to grate the skin of a lemon over the top of the carrot. Not complicated. And you see where the skin comes off. That's called lemon zest. And it adds flavor without being overpowering. Just really cool. And we can show you that. I'll look at it. Look how cool that is. What do we aim to add? A little salt and pepper. A little salt. A little pepper. And that's the seasoning. It's that simple. Now the other thing we're going to do, take my parts of the carrot, because they'll go to the trash. And I need a little olive oil. I have a new olive oil container. I love it. Spritzes a little olive oil out. Doop, doop, doop. Where's my olive oil? There it is. That's all it takes. A couple of squirts. And this will go in the oven. And here we go. It takes about 25 minutes, 20 minutes for the carrots to cook. It takes about 15 for the chicken to cook. So the next thing we're going to do is prepare the chicken, which will go in the oven. Remember, subscribe to the channel if you like it. Comment, tell your friends about it. And I'll start on the chicken. So we've got chicken in the oven at 425. It's a pretty hot oven. You could even see everything's cooking. And while the chicken is cooking, I'm going to start the couscous. And the couscous takes a medium heat on a saucepan. This is what couscous looks like in a bag. And I'm going to brown it when the butter melts. I put 2 tablespoons of butter in. And in just a minute, I will put the couscous in. And what you do is you brown it with just butter, and after it gets browned, you add some chicken stock and water, and then let it simmer for 8 to 10 minutes. It's a grain, sort of, and it really is very good. So I'm just letting the butter melt, put the couscous in. I buy it in bags too. This is again from the meal service company. Oh, dropped a couple. So we've got couscous browning. I'll add a little salt. Again, you noticed how specific I was on the salt. When you're cooking meals and things, just have a flair. If sometimes you put more salt than you need, you'll know to do less next time. I mean, don't worry about being specific. Be yourself. I even will add a little bit of pepper, because I like a little pepper in things. I could put paprika in it. I could do all kinds of things to it. What we're going to add is a little chicken stock to the water. So I'm going to get some water, just a little bit. About 3/4 cup of water. And after we get the couscous browned and a wooden spatula, I do that when I'm browning things in pots if I can. I don't like to scrape metal with metal. This is an induction stove, which means I have incredible control over power, and I'll show you a trick. This is very interesting. I turn this on, put it on high, I can touch it, nothing happens. It only works when you have a magnetic kind of metal on it. This won't get my hand hot. It's very safe. We did this for a lot of reasons. It'll also, if you look at it, it's getting hot already. It will boil water quickly, but this pan is steel, and I could put a magnet to it. If you use aluminum pans, they won't get hot, nothing happens. It's a very interesting stove. It's a great technology. We didn't have natural gas available in this house, so I opted to do induction. So we've got this going on. I have one last thing. Reach over here. Little package of chicken stock. Put that in. Little water. Let it boil. I'm going to let it come up to a boil again, and I'll put it on simmer and simmer it for 8 to 10 minutes, and that'll be dinner. So we cooked a meal kit company, mozzarella crusted chicken with carrots and couscous, and we'll be plating that in just a minute. It's about done. We're going to do some more of these. My next one looks like to be a spicy beef with green beans and jasmine rice. Looks really good. And if you like what we do, please subscribe. Please tell your friends. Share the video with folks. It's great fun to do, and I'll be putting it on a plate in just a minute. So this is our crusted chicken with carrots. I'm going to put it on the plate. So a slice of chicken, some carrots, put it over here, a slice of chicken, carrots. Looks really good. And a slice of chicken. And the last of the carrots. And then we'll do couscous. That looks really good. Smells really good too. So that's our dinner. Chicken, carrots, and couscous. And to finish, I'll show you one last trick. Just a little squeeze of lemon juice. Remember, share us, subscribe, and I hope you have fun cooking. Thank you. So now we're going to do prepare the chicken for mozzarella crusted chicken. And there's two different pieces of chicken here. These came from the delivery company. You can see they're small, they're very thin, they're cutlets, it's called. But I have a bigger piece, and I want to show you what you do with that. This is a boneless breast that I got from the grocery store, and I love them because they're affordable, they're very good, well priced, and I do a little trick with them to make them work like a cutlet. And that is, I put them in a plastic bag, and I pound them. And what that does is, this chicken, if you see it, is pretty thick. This part is thin. It wouldn't cook the same speed. So I'm going to make this all one thickness. And all you do is put a plastic bag and watch. And I just knock it down in thickness. The chicken doesn't care. That's a joke. But it doesn't care. So now all my pieces are the same thickness. They'll cook at the same speed in the oven. And they will taste great. This recipe, I think, is one of the simplest and one of the nicest ones going. It's I've done it many times in different versions. And it is, I'm going to wash my hands. One of the things you do with chicken is wash your hands all the time. It's okay. But sour cream. And what I'm going to do with sour cream is coat the chicken. So here's this piece of cutlet. I'll put a little sour cream here. Put a little sour cream on this one. Put a little sour cream over here. And finally over here. And just smear the sour cream on the chicken. And what we're going to do is that holds the panko and the cheese on it. After I get this on, that look cool. I mean, it's, you use your hands. Again, I wash my hands. And I'm going to do salt and pepper. This is sea salt. I don't use just regular salt. And pepper. Great. And now I'm going to get panko. And this is panko, but I have my own container of panko. And I'm going to use that. Original panko. And you just sprinkle it on the chicken. And you do a nice cover. And again, remember when we did another episode of Chris Cooks? Chefs touch food. You gotta have clean hands, but you touch it. It doesn't hurt anything. I push the panko in to the chicken so that the coverage stays there. It really works nice. So now we have a crust on these chicken pieces. Wash my hands again. And the carrots have been in the oven for about 5 minutes, 6 minutes. And then last thing I'm going to do, put a little seasoning on. And I'll just take a little seasoning packet that they give. And you also remember, I told you that chefs have great specific recipes for desserts and candies and all. Not so much for just cooking. So use what shows up. And last, little cheese bites. And we have 4 beautiful chicken pieces. And what do I do next? Well, they're going to go on to the pan in the oven. There's our carrots working. I'm going to move them down a little bit. Make room for the chicken. Yeah, let's do it this way. I don't want to try and make a mess on the floor. So the chicken's on the pan. It goes in the oven. And it'll cook for about 20 minutes. And while that's cooking, I'll do couscous.